from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. It's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Fields. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Fields. Man open is Robinson. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his 2nd in Tampa Bay.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, Now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And that is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Ryan Succop for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Fields now to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jason Pierre-Paul able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A huge play there for Chicago. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw is Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Rolling to that. He can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Second and 5 now. Brady. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, it's Sullivan. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Brady now on 1st down. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They'll run on 1st down. Sullivan. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 79 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line. And
he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point up and good by Suckup, and the lead is now 14-10. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, the good stuff, you got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. They'll roll him out right. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to do.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Still 15 yards to go, second down.
Another try after the first down sack. Fields.
Justin Fields at quarterback gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 38, Fields. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, he had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Right back to him on first down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
112 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
On first down, it's Sullivan. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now he'll throw with Brady.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Gibson.
And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. William Golston in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Throwing on third down, Fields.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On first down, it's Sullivan. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
131 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead is up to 8.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On second down, Montgomery. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Now it's Fields. That's caught by Montgomery. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. On 2nd and 9, Brady. This one complete to Scott Miller. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he'll give it here to his running back.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. On play action, now Brady. This is caught. It's Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll try the left side. Sullivan. Pretty nice aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30.
174 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, this time with Bell.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sullivan, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Well, all nickels there on the stop.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They'll try the left side. Sullivan. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. A 10-play drive that time, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 44-yard line.
Throwing again is Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On second and a long way to go.
Fields. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down.
On third down, they go Montgomery. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
On third down, it's Sullivan. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bears take over.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bucs will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The final shot before half for Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Sullivan. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Panthers who were able to come in and get one on the road. Robbie Anderson, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Myles Gaskin, a touchdown run in the victory. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The tackle by Robert Quinn. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Brady. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Shotgun now for Brady. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Being chased out left. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Tom Brady, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there, because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered, and he said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown.
This is Jakeem Grant.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
And this will be a Bears first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Vita Vea, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Brown. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, 79 yards.
And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point put through by Succop. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Pursuing the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
With it is Brown. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out come the Bucs now. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Play action. Now it's Brady.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Brady, he finds his target. It's Evans. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the third quarter from Tampa. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And the Bucs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Now Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that will extend this big lead. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Here's Fields. Out to his left. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Back to throw. Fields. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
From the gun, here's Fields. Flush to his right. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
On 1st down, Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. Going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Looking to throw. Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's Graham. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. A give. This is Montgomery. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Defense.
So a potential big play by this defense wiped out by the face mask.
And disappointing because it was so unnecessary. They had the sack. But the officials are definitely keeping a close eye on the quarterback, especially the referee. They were able to spot that one immediately.
Back to throw. Fields. Rolling to his left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Justin Fields
With his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game.
And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Santos with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10
at their own 26.
And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Brady gives this one off to Jones.
First down and much more here for Jones. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A big play there out of the running game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll give this to Bell running right. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Let's go, D, let's go.
From the 27, Brady. That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. Touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On first down, Fields.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They snap it to Fields.
This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On first down, it's Fields.
And he finds Montgomery complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Third and 2, Fields.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
There's Mooney with another catch. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Here's Fields.
caught by Montgomery. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Forced out to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 46. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got room. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point try now for Succop. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Fields. And Grant's got it over the middle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And Graham's got it, complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Fields. And that's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Again, Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. Fields now to throw. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Tampa Bay, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.